Welcome to another episode of Theorycraft. This time we're on Ancient, and specifically because one of the one of the viewers on my Twitch stream actually had a pretty good question about how to get rid of a specific position on this map. And that's led to several hours of running around throwing grenades live on the stream, with lots of laughter in the background as I failed to throw one specific grenade. But I think I found a way to do it finally, so let's check it out. A couple of different solutions for this one. How do you get rid of a CT that's standing here? Obviously, you can throw a Molotov around the corner, and that's fine, but it comes with a lot of risks as well, because you're sort of trying to peek this, and it might be a bit tricky. So, anyway, we went down this route, so let's see where it goes. For the first type of grenade that we're going to be throwing, you actually have to stand in this corner. And I'm going to assume that you're only ever really going to be doing this if there's a smoke up. For that reason, we can't actually use any of this backdrop to align our grenade, and that's a problem. But it turns out it also might be a bit of a blessing, because if we can crouch down in this corner while we're setting up our grenade, we're actually way less likely to get hit. So, let's make the assumption that this smoke is already up, that someone from the CT side has thrown it, and you're crouched here in the corner, waiting to attack the bomb site, and maybe by proxy, the hallway in the back where your teammates are coming from. I want you to crouch down, and you're going to be finding 3 specific dots. Depending on what kind of resolution and shader detail and the rest of you're looking for, it might look a bit different on your monitor, so go into the game and check this out. But on my monitor, this is what it looks like. We've got a fairly large one here, we've got a middle one here, and a third one here. I look at all 3, it's a bit easier to remember. But we're going to be aiming slightly above this middle one. So, zoomed out again. Could be a little bit hard to find initially, but once you kind of know what you're looking for, it actually isn't that hard to do. So once you're aimed right above it, you stand up, and you just throw. No jumping, no nothing. And we're going to get a grenade that actually flies through this very narrow hole, and it lands in here, burning everything, including this particular box. Now, that's fun to think about, because there's another traditional Molotov that's actually thrown to clear out this part of the map. And I'll show you what these two look like in combination if you want to really coordinate with your teammates. So, one teammate throwing the Molotov on the one side, the other throwing this fairly standard. It bounces off the wall, but it burns out absolutely everything with the other Molotov. That is a lot of fire, and if you're not ready for it, you might actually never make it back in time. So try this one out. Enjoying the Theorycraft? Well, remember to check out the playlist where we keep all the videos that we're making. Now back to this one. The next Molotov that we're going to be looking at requires a lot of mid control. And I admit that it might be hard to do this in a lot of matches unless you're playing with some pretty high level players, or you just have a lot of confidence, or you're just not going to have fun. But regardless, I think it's interesting to look at, if nothing else. We're going to be in the middle for this one, and let's assume, just for the sake of it, that we've smoked up this part of the map. You've got a teammate that's already probably holding this red room position. Here are a couple of things you can do. So, first off, if you're trying to actually take control of this other part, if you zoom in on that second little rock here, so you've got like one stone here, there's a second one there. If you're looking at the second stone, you're going to get a Molotov that actually falls in, and whether it falls through or not, it's going to be burning out this corner. Sometimes the Molotov will actually fall all the way down, sometimes it kind of stays up there, but regardless, it will burn this position out. And I think that's kind of interesting. For the second grenade we're going to be looking for, we're going to be walking forward all the way until that wall on our right-hand side disappears. So we just want that wall to be out of the way. Once it is, we're going to be aligning our crosshair here, and then we're going to be looking all the way down. We just need to make sure we're not hitting this corner. So try and aim, and then as we're looking at these bricks, you just do a jump throw. Should be pretty easy, and this grenade will land all the way back here, and it will burn out anybody that's playing in any of these positions. Now, if you time that with a teammate that at the same time is going to be pop flashing his way through here, I think that could work very well. For our final trick, and probably the one that took me the longest to try and figure out in a slightly absurd fashion as well. I admit it, I almost lost my mind throwing this grenade, but I think I found a way that actually might be worth using, even potentially in a competitive match. We'll find out. What I want to do is try and find a way to Molotov this plateau, this little boost here, where people often hold these angles with an MP9, trying to play up here. And I want to get rid of this position, because otherwise, we're not going to have a chance to make it through. Especially, I think in a round with a Tech 9 rush or something like that, I think it's going to be worth it. The position that I'm trying to eliminate on this bomb site is this boost, where very often the CTs are going to be holding with an MP9, especially when you are on a low buy. So you might only really have Tech 9s or P250s or Glocks coming through, and it's very hard to stop it. But if you do, you could actually very often get a bomb plant, as that player might actually be the only player on the bomb side, while the rest of them are in donut or middle trying to defend that part. The Molotov can be thrown really in 2 ways. There's a super easy way, but also very inefficient, that involves standing in the corner, looking at this particular line, and then just doing a jump throw. This grenade is going to bounce off and land here, and it'll burn out what amounts to a tiny part. If someone's standing in these corners, maybe they're going to be burned, but I don't think it's worth it. I spent a good 2 or 3 hours throwing these type of grenades until it occurred to me, what if we boost instead? Now, if you boost a teammate, or you put a teammate on this particular tile, it's important, and you stand on top. Once you're in position and you're able to clear a full jump so that you're not actually jumping into the corner here, but once you're out here where you can really jump, you should be able to align yourself right where this little pin is here and go for a regular jump throw. That way, we're going to get a grenade that bounces a little bit further and far enough to clear out almost the entirety of this plateau. There are going to be a couple of places people can stand here, but it's very limited. Unless they're standing there already, they're probably going to be in a bit of a panic, having no idea that the Molotov is about to land right behind them, and it's going to be kind of hard to adjust to. So give it a try. I think this Molotov, combined with the right pop flashes and a lot of Tech 9s, could actually overwhelm a bomb site pretty quickly. I don't think anyone's done this before, so maybe you're going to be the first to try it in an actual game. I hope you guys had fun. Remember to follow all the links, and these have been Anders approved grenades. I'll see you in the next one.